Could the Chicago Bears trade for Dolphins safety Minkah Fitzpatrick? Reports out there that he could be available. Plus, we have some Bears coaching staff news. Lots to discuss here on Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. And guys, I launched my TikTok a couple of months ago, and we are on the road to 5,000 followers. If you want more Bears, NFL, and college football short-form content, give me a follow over there at HGramNFL. We're at 4,100 followers, trying to get to 5,000. I would greatly appreciate it if you support us over on the talk. All right, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Report coming in from Jordan Schultz that the Dolphins are engaging with teams about trading the veteran safety. So Jordan Schultz tweeting earlier today that they have had trade talks with teams regarding the five-time Pro Bowler Minkah Fitzpatrick. Miami, of course, has unloaded on other contracts, releasing Tyreek Hill, Bradley Chubb, who we talked about, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, and then former Bear James Daniels. So it's pretty clear what the Dolphins are doing. And just side note, I agree with what they're doing. Like, they want to go younger. They're resetting. They're offloading aging, older contracts. But I will say this, with Minkah Fitzpatrick, he's going to be 30, so he's not young, but he is still a very good player. And to me, he fits a Dennis Allen defense to a T because he's very versatile. He can play both safety spots. He can play nickel, which is nice for this team with Kyler Gordon's injury issues. If you were to get Minkah as a safety and then Kyler went down, if you needed Minkah to play nickel and have like your third safety plug in at safety, you could do that as well. So it gives you a lot of options. You see the raw stats there, but graded out well per PFF as well, was one of the higher graded defensive backs in the NFL this season. So it's not like he's like falling off as a player. In fact, he was better in 2025 than he was in 2024 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's still a very, very good player. Now, is he a top 2 or 3 safety in the league? Probably not, but he probably is a better overall player than Kevin Byard, even though Byard did just have a very good season. Now, I'm not sitting here saying, screw Kevin Byard, go trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick no matter what, but I would at least be interested considering you don't have a single safety under contract at this point in time. Now, as far as the money goes, he has 1 year left in his deal, and he actually has some void years built in, which a team that trades for him has those built in as well, but doesn't have to worry about the dead money attached to those. That's still on Miami's books, so that is a positive because if the Bears were to trade for him, for example, they could restructure Minkah with those built-in void years, or more likely they could extend him and lower that $15.6 million cap hit for 2026 because if you trade for Minkah, I don't think he's playing on that cap hit for this team. They would need to lower that because as much as they need safeties, they also still need pass rushers. Like, they have other needs on this roster. I will say this, too. The Dolphins don't have a ton of leverage here. They've already told the NFL with their actions, hey, we're resetting. We're going to enter a rebuild. Minkah Fitzpatrick, yeah, he's really good, but they're delusional if they think they can get a second or a third round pick. I think you're looking at a day 3 pick, and you're probably looking at like a 5th round pick. I don't even think it's probably a 4th. So the Bears, who have 1 4th, a 5th, and 2 7ths, I don't think a 7th is going to get it done, but you could send them your 5th round pick, and that probably closes the deal. And remember, Ryan Poles this time last year in early March, which we're a couple weeks from post-combine, made 2 very savvy trades, kind of buying low on really impactful players. Joe Thuney, one of the best guards probably in the history of the league and certainly in the NFL. Aging player. Chiefs had to make a tough financial decision, get him for a 4th round pick. Jonah Jackson had a weird year in LA, injuries. They tried to play him at center, didn't work out. 6th round pick. Could Ryan Poles, instead of like going the blockbuster trade route, be like, hey, what if I can get Minkah for like a 5th round pick, a Swiss Army versatile safety that can do a lot of different things? And sure, maybe we're not trading for Max Crosby in this scenario, but maybe you go sign like a Khalil Mack for $12 to $15 million, and you kind of combine him and Minkah Fitzpatrick instead of going all in on the high-priced pass rusher. So I think the point here is there's a lot of different avenues the Bears could take to improve this defense, and regardless of who they get at safety, They have to get somebody. They have to get multiple bodies. They have 0 safeties under contract. So whether that's signing Kevin Byard and another safety, or signing Kevin Byard and drafting one, or trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick and signing a cheaper free agent, or drafting someone to pair with him, like, they are going to have to make moves to address this position because they currently do not have anyone. So I'm intrigued. I think he would fit in really well on this defense. Like anything else, what's it going to cost? How does it affect what else you're trying to accomplish in terms of your roster construction? All those things come into play. What would an extension look like? Like, if you traded for Minkah and then extended to him, I don't know, could you get like a 2 for 25, $12.5 million per year? Like, I don't think I'd want to do like a 2 for 40, like, for a 30-plus-year-old safety. So all those things factor in, because I do think if you traded for Minkah, you would at least give him a 1-year, if not a 2-year extension to, again, lower that cap hit in 2026 and push some money down the road. Would you trade a day 3 pick for Minkah? Let's call it a 5th-round pick. Type T for trade or P for pass. If I could get a reasonable extension inked, I'd be pretty damn intrigued. And I love Kevin Byard, and if this meant turning the page on Kevin Byard, like, as hard as that would be, I do think Minkah's the better player, and he's 3 years younger. So that does have to play a role. Byard's kind of year to year at this point. Minkah, you could kind of look at next 2 or 3 years, 5th-round pick, probably worth it for a guy of his stature. All right, have some coaching staff news that I want to break down here for you guys. But today's show, sponsored by Marsman. Fellas, I turned 33 years old later this year, and I got to be honest, I was starting to feel it late last year. Most men start losing testosterone around age 30, and about 1% every year after that. When the new year hit, I kind of treated it like a reset. I wanted to feel energized again, not worn down, especially after a long football season. Not that I'm complaining. So this year, I'm keeping it simple, doing something natural that supports my body where it needs it. That's why I'm taking Marsman. It helps your body unlock usable testosterone so you can feel like yourself again. Marsman supports healthy T levels, energy, and stamina. It has 8 natural and clinically dosed ingredients, including vitamin D, zinc, and boron, plus more. Marsman is made in the U.S. and is third-party tested as well. You can get a 90-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk. Worst case, if you don't absolutely love it, you can get your money back. However, 91% of users report higher energy levels, so I think that's pretty unlikely. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off plus free shipping and 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. It's a perfect way to kick off the new year. That's mengotomars.com for 50% off and 3 free gifts at checkout. After you purchase, they will ask you where we heard about them. Tell them we sent you. Bears Now by Chat Sports. Support the show. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and check out Marsman today. All right, coaching staff news. So the Bears have officially announced the hire/promotion of 4 new coaches for their 2026 coaching staff, which means I think this staff is officially set in stone. So the promotion of Press Taylor to offensive coordinator is now official. Eric Stoodsville as the running backs coach. He replaces Eric Bieniemy. Taylor obviously being elevated after losing Declan Doyle. Will Lawing is an offensive analyst. We'll talk more about him in a second. And then Isaiah Ford, who actually briefly played for the Bears a few years ago. I did a short on him earlier. We'll talk about him as well. Let's talk about the Will Lawing situation, because this situation is kind of unfolded in an interesting way because they kind of hired him quietly. It was kind of reported on a lesser national level, and it was like, okay, interesting. Boston College OC, him and Ben Johnson played college football together at UNC. What's his role going to be? Is he going to be a quality control guy? And then when Declan Doyle leaves, is it like, oh, is this your offensive coordinator hire, considering it's not a play calling role? And then when Press Taylor gets promoted, it's like, okay, is he the pass game coordinator? I'm told that, yes, he's an offensive analyst, but he's basically the pass game coordinator. Like, he's going to be doing the same tasks. I don't know why the role is titled differently. Could be kind of a, hey, you're first year guy in the organization. Like, we're not going to give you the pass game coordinator title. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I like all the minutia around this. It's Ben's show, and he's It's his offense. He's the play caller. He installs the run game. So I don't think it really matters. He just needs guys around him he can trust that can help him with the day-to-day tasks throughout the week. So he's going to be doing a little bit of everything on that front. And then I'm pretty fascinated by this Isaiah Ford hire because Isaiah Ford was drafted by the Dolphins in 2017. Ben Johnson was on that staff, more in a minute. Bounced around the NFL as kind of a roster practice squad receiver for 6 or 7 years, including the Bears in 2023. I actually looked back. He actually got in a couple of games, was playing on special teams, but was an NFL receiver. Again, kind of a fringe roster guy for the better part of 6 or 7 years. And now he returns to Chicago, where he briefly had a stint a couple of years ago. He also and this is the connection, played under Ben Johnson when Johnson was the receivers coach in Miami. In 2017, he was the assistant receivers coach, and then in 2018, he was the receivers coach. So he and Isaiah Ford go back like 7-8 years ago, so they know each other pretty well. And I like this addition. I've always said I like guys who played in the league and can communicate, especially their position, to the players on the team. So I would imagine this is probably going to be a guy who learns under Antoine Randall quite a bit, a guy who's been around. He's associate head coach, wide receivers coach for this team. So he gets to kind of get his feet wet with a really smart offensive staff. Ben Johnson, who obviously knows what he's doing. I mentioned Randall, some other guys who have been around the block as well. So I like this move. And again, if things go well, if Antoine Randall ever gets like an OC job or something, then Isaiah Ford could step in and be your receivers coach, and that should be a relatively seamless transition. So I do like that addition to the staff as well. Who is your favorite new Bears coach? I think I'd go Stoodsville because losing Eric Bieniemy, that's probably about as good as you can do as a running backs coach. Stoodsville is very qualified. And that has been well received by people outside of the Chicago kind of circle. And I do think it's a signal of like, Ben Johnson really knows how to hire coaches. Like he knows how to identify and how to bring in guys, and people want to coach under him, which I think is a really, really positive sign for a young head coach as well. So excited about that one, but I think this staff will seamlessly transition from 2025 to 2026, and the work really gets going as the NFL Combine is next week. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Chicago Bears Now. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We are pumping out content every single day. We'll be live tomorrow. As always, bear down.